Good morning from a not so sunny Sandbrook Park for our next partner playback. The last time we had one of these was in early December. Today I'm joined by our regulars. So we've got Stephen Warburton, who's the Managing Director of Partner and Consumer, and the Connectivity Portfolio Manager, Andy. Morning, guys. So
Morning.
first and foremost, there is a Q&A at the end. So get those questions in as the webinar's going along, and we can pick those up and ask them at the most appropriate time or pick them up at the end. So Steve, what's been happening since our last partner play back in December?
Yeah, thanks, Mark. And morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us this morning for our latest Playback webinar. So yeah, it's been a busy 3 months, as always. I can't believe it's 3 months since the last time I was here talking to you all. So first of all, a big thank you to those of you who came along to our event here at Sandbrook Park in December, the first of our regional events. And also to the Clays event that we held in London. It was great, as always, to catch up with you all, hear about some of the trends and themes you see in the industry right now, some of the challenges and areas which we can help, and also some of the great opportunities we've got right now together. So yeah, really good event. I did learn I'm not very good at clay pigeon shooting, so that's not one of my skills, but yeah, still a good event. And as we look ahead, the next one of those events we'll be running is on the 1st of May, and we'll be going to Cardiff to Flight Club for our next partner quarterly event. So yeah, get in touch with your account manager if you're interested in coming along. We'll have a registration link going out fairly soon for that event. And then finally, on the event theme, we've got Richard Tang, our founder and CEO. He's going to be going to Channel Live on the first day, the 19th of March, at the NEC in Birmingham, and doing the latest incarnation of his full fibre wacky races talk. So you'll be hearing more about his views on the market, where it is right now, the opportunity, and how we can support our partners. We'll also have several of the Zen team there as well, so good opportunity to catch up again at that event. So yeah, that's the events theme over the last few months. Secondly, as some of you might have seen from my LinkedIn post, we're going to be investing in the recruitment of an MD for our partner business. So somebody dedicated to running that part of our business and to making the most of the alternate opportunity. It's worth sharing, I'm not going anywhere, so I'll continue to run our consumer business and do my bit to support the work we do to reduce our impact on the planet. So that recruitment's commenced, and I'll update you all as we go forward in terms of that particular plan. And then finally, I just wanted to finish by touching on the altnets. So you'll remember back in December, I was joined by Richard, and he talked about our new ambition and our new strategy to become an aggregator of altnets here in the UK, and the aggregator of choice. So I'm pleased to say over the last 3 months, we're now in a position where we'll be bringing on board the first of those altnet partners. So we'll be adding City Fibre into the ICP. Our aim is to have that live by May. And that will give you access to about 4.3 million consumer footprint via that City Fibre network, and about 250,000 business premises too. So a good footprint there that'll give you access to. Andy's obviously joining us today, so he'll share a little bit more about how that's going to work in practice. But I just wanted to share that update on that progress. So I think that was it from me, Mark. Back to you.
Cheers, Steve. Yeah, lots been going on. So one of the things I wanted to talk about is a topic which I think I've repeated on numerous webinars, is in terms of the switch off. So that's now getting closer and closer to the end of 2025, which is the date which we are working to here at Zen. I think it's just worth just recapping where we're currently at and where the challenge is over the next probably 10 months. So I'm trying to read the notes here. So in February to 23 to 24, we did 32% reduction on our copper base. That's actually gone down to 29% in February 24 to February 25. So there is a bit of a slowing down of that conversion from copper to fibre. So where's that currently leave us? In terms of our budget, we will now need to do around 1,300 migrations from copper to fibre over the next 10 months to get that down. There will be around circa 5,000 circuits, which will just be ADSL only, and Andy can come on to what we're going to do with those and when in the year we're going to do that. In terms of WLR, that number is more around 750 a month we would need to do between now and December to meet our goals and targets. So the picture is that the challenge is still out there, and I think what I want to hear in my role as head of partner experience is what are those blockers for you as partners. Where it's worked well with our partners is with partner experience managers working in consultancy and effectively coordinating the activity on your behalf to move those circuits from copper to fibre. We understand that there's obviously challenges with this, and we work in cohorts. So those cohorts are split up from going from the easiest and the low-hanging fruit, shall we say, right through to then the more challenging ones where new CPE would need to be deployed and an on-site visit potentially. That's worked really well, and I think it's probably a good time to thank the partners that have worked in collaboration with us. There's been a number, and there's been some really aggressive work that's been done to reduce that number in their base. So a big shout out to them. You know who you are. I won't go through the names today, but I guess the call out here is, use us. We're here for you. Reach out to your account manager, reach out to your partner experience manager to do that work for you, that heavy lifting. That's what we're here to do. It's in everyone's interest, especially around that. What we've seen internally here at Zen is that customer retention piece. It makes you more sticky to that customer with the FTTB deployment. So yeah, that's vitally important. That's what I wanted to touch on today. Again, keep putting your questions into the box and we'll come to those. At the moment, there's only a couple that have come in, but I'll touch those at the end. So, Andy, in terms of where we're at now from a portfolio perspective, obviously Steve's touched on the exciting news regarding altnets and City Fibre. So that's the first one that we're going to do. Where are we up to in other enhancements for our partners in terms of the portfolio space?
Thanks, Mark. So as we mentioned previously, for our portal, we're continuing to incrementally improve it based on partner feedback. So thank you to all the partners that have given us feedback. So since we did the last one of these calls, we've introduced a couple of improvements. First one being email notifications on order state changes. So if you've got an order in flight and the state of that order changes from perhaps placed to committed, or it's been delayed, an email notification is sent out. If you want it to be. So that's now in place. We have also had a request to make improve the visibility of ONT port details. So when you log into the portal, being able to see which port on a multi-port ONT an FTTP service is connected to. So we've improved that and made it more visible on the services page as well. So they're just a couple of examples of the incremental changes we're doing. Alongside that, obviously, we've got some big fundamental changes coming along to support our altnet aggregator work. As Steve says, the first step in that will be adding City Fibre. So City Fibre, around May time, we will have City Fibre's consumer and business products available for you to order right across City Fibre's full footprint, which is, as Steve said, about 4 million premises. For those of you not familiar with City Fibre's products, they have a range of residential and business products. The residential products are available at residential addresses, the business products at business addresses. They're using Ordnance Surveys data to determine what's residential and or what is a business premises. And as you would expect, the business products have slightly improved SLAs. They cost a little bit more as well, but we're still going to offer what we believe to be some of the best rates in the market, as well as the added advantage of being able to get access to Openreach's network and the other altnets that we'll be adding in. In terms of choice of network that you want to, where there are multiple networks, so Openreach, City Fibre, and later Truly and Freedom Fibre, you'll be able to choose the network that you would prefer to connect your customer on. So if you're using the portal, you run an availability check and the portal will show you City Fibre, Openreach, and all the other networks that are available, and you just select the product or the package that you're interested in for your customer. If there are multiple versions available, so if there was an Openreach FTTP or Openreach Sagia and City Fibre available, you will see both. It's not, we won't select our preferred network. That's up for you. You can choose the one that works for you, and we'll give you the best rate possible. We introduced 12, 24 and 36 month contracts at the end of 2024. We'll have that same structure in place for City Fibre and our other networks. And as you would expect, the upfront costs and monthly rentals reduce as you move up the contract lengths. We'll confirm pricing in the next few weeks and months, ahead of launch, so that you can prepare and get customers interested and start promoting this out to your customers if you wish to. We'll make sure you've got all the information you need. As I touched on very briefly, once City Fibre is live and in the portal and in the APIs for everyone to order, we'll then progress on to the other networks. So we've already announced that we've done deals with Truly and Freedom Fibre. So they've both got coverage in different parts of the country. Truly largely in the southeast, a little bit in Scotland. Freedom Fibre mainly in the northwest. And we've got a couple of other networks lined up that we've not announced yet, but hopefully we'll be able to announce those very soon. Any questions on any of that, as Mark's already alluded, put them in the questions box and we'll get to them at the end of the webinar. We've got a couple of other updates from portfolio that we need to touch on as well. So Lauren, our Ethernet product manager, asked me to remind everyone that our Ethernet special offer comes to an end at the end of this week on the 28th. So if you've got any orders, get them in before the end of the week to benefit from the improved rates. So that's Zen on-net Ethernet 500 and 1 gigabit per second. It's effectively it's a discount on your monthly rental, but it works out at roughly 1 month free. So get those orders in. It's definitely worth taking advantage of that special offer. Let me just double check my notes. One other update. So OpenReach have got some changes coming up in the spring. This is a project that they're calling Business Standard. So for a long time, OpenReach have had 3 installation options available. This is standard, premium, and advanced install. So you'll recognise those from when you're placing orders with our API or in our portal. That extends the scope of the work that an engineer can do when they go to site. OpenReach's recommendation for a long time has been choose premium for business premises or advanced if it's a more complex site. The feedback has been that that's not really been happening, and pretty much all the orders have been going through as standard, which results in an engineer going out, and often for business premises, them not being able to complete the installation in the time that they've got or within the scope of a standard install, and so engineers having to be rebooked to go back another day. If that happens, it's costing you an extra £100 for that second engineer appointment, so costing you more than the premium installation. So OpenReach in the spring are making some changes to enforce premium at business sites and advanced at those more complex sites. So our portal and APIs will be updated ahead of OpenReach making that change so that your orders aren't rejected. So this is all around ensuring that engineers can go out to site and get the job done first time. Less furthered orders, less delays, and then lower cost ultimately because you're not having to pay for that second engineer. We'll send out full details of that in advance as well. And as soon as we've got final confirmation of that launch date, we will let you know so that you've got plenty of time to prepare. The way it'll work is our APIs and portals will do all the logic for you. So it'll tell you what is available and what the minimum activation type is you can select. So there's no complicated things that you need to do. We'll make it as simple as possible, but obviously you need to know what's going on. So we'll let you know as soon as possible.
Perfect. Thank you, Andy. We have got some questions, so I'll fire these out. So the first one is, and I think you have answered some of them in that, but I think just answer these questions as they come through. So after City Fibre in the ICP, who will be next in your opinion?
So it will be. Well, I guess it's going to be between Truly and Freedom Fibre. We've just started selling Truly to our direct consumer customers. We've been testing it with them for a few weeks and we've had some orders coming through. So they're at the front of the queue just because we've got that integration in place. And then it would be Freedom Fibre. However, if there's a real preference from partners to select for us to select one network over another between Truly and Freedom Fibre, then please let us know and we can take that into into account. But as things stand, it would be truly then Freedom Fibre. But we're open to suggestions if that needs to change.
Thank you, Andy. Staying on the theme of altnets, again, I know you said the pricing for City Fibre will be released, but how's that going to look? So one of the questions we've had is, how will that altnet pricing look? Will there be a single price, or will it be different for altnets and on-net with Zen? How is that going to operate?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So because we want to give all of our partners the very best rate across all of those networks, we're going to have network-specific pricing. So there'll be a price for Openreach, there'll be a price for City Fibre's residential product, their business product, a different price for Truly, and so on. And that enables us to offer the keenest rates across each of those networks. If we were to do a single price, we obviously have to ensure that we cover the cost of the highest price one of those networks. So you might be paying over the odds on the cheaper ones. So yeah, it'll be a different price for each network. We'll have a rate card which makes that really clear. We'd also be keen to know whether partners are interested in seeing the pricing in the portal. Obviously, our portal doesn't show pricing today, but there's not those different networks. So if there's feedback from partners that they'd like to see that, we'll take that on board and factor that in for a future release as well.
Cheers, Andy. This question, I think, again, would be for Andy as well. So is there still a cost for regrading Sagira and Copper to FTTP, as in the cease charge of the Sagira and Copper migration costs, etc.?
So if you regrade a Sagira line or a Copper line to Zen FTTP, if you place that as a modify order, there's no cease costs for the old service. It's just the connection fees for the new service. If you take that, and that depends on which contract term you choose. So if you choose 1 month, 12 months, 24, and so on, and that determines the cost. But there's no cost for ceasing the old service.
Okay. We've had some instant feedback on the question around pricing in the portal.
Fabulous.
The answer would be yes, that would be useful.
Good.
So thank you for that. A question around Ethernet pricing. I know you talked about an offer there. A partner said that we are a little bit out of kilter in terms of competitive pricing, and will we be doing more of a review in the future?
Yeah, so we'd love to get feedback on that pricing. So if you've got examples of where we're out, please feed that into us and we'll do our best to take that into account. The special offer that we're running at the moment, we'll review how successful that's been at the end of the month and take into account the upcoming Openreach price changes and hopefully introduce another offer but we won't know what that is quite yet. But yeah, we're really keen to have the best possible pricing. On a previous webinar, I've mentioned about our investment in redeveloping our Ethernet platform and the pricing and the supplies that we use. That work is ongoing and it is there. It's not quite ready to open up to our partners to use yet, but that work's continuing. That will improve some of our efficiencies and we'll get slightly better pricing. We will be onboarding some of the altnets that we use for broadband. Have got Ethernet propositions and they'll be in there and that will pull down the pricing as well. And so, yeah, absolutely. Pricing key. If examples of where we're out, please feed that in. I'm not saying that we can, it'll change overnight, but if we can match those prices or beat them, then we're open to doing that. And we'll take in that feedback into our models and try and make sure that we're giving you the best price first time if we're not already. Yeah.
Thank you. This one's probably for Steve. It's a question that's coming twice, actually, in terms of we are partnering with altnets and with altnet aggregation, but why do that with Zen when they've got a direct relationship with that supplier already?
Yeah, great question, that, Mark. Yeah, thanks. So yeah, clearly there's choice in the market. So you have the option to go direct to the altnet, or obviously to come through us. I mean, I think having spoken to a number of partners about this exact topic over the last 3 months, I think one key benefit is the fact that you're already in some cases integrating with us, so there's an ease of doing business benefit. in being able to just come to Zen and be able to aggregate different networks across your the different providers that are out there for you. I also think based on the scale that we're operating at, we're able to negotiate some really good terms. So I think that you'll find that we're able to offer some really compelling rates to partners by coming through us rather than necessarily going directly. We also have access to support we can offer via those altnet partners as well, given our scale. So whether that's marketing support or expertise that Andy or I can offer. So I think there's several reasons why that will hopefully make sense for you.
Cool, thank you, Steve. And I've got one final question, unless anything else comes in. So, Steve, what has been your highlight as the partner managing director as you going solely to go back to consumer now?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, great question. Highlight, wow. I think there's been several. I think we've had some fantastic partner events over the last 25 years. Really enjoy those. Great to get together, meet our partners, understand your opportunities and challenges and support you, and have some fun too. We've had some great fun at those events along the way. I think the launch of the ICP in our wholesale business, that was again another real highlight. There's been many, but it's been a great journey. And as I say, I'm still going to be here flying the partner flag on our exec team. So I look forward to continuing to support our partners as much as I can.
Okay. There is one more last question that's come in. So it's from Warren Free, and he said, I know Virgin Media aren't available via Ethernet services, but is there plans to bring their broadband portfolio into the partner channel?
So at the moment, VMO2 have talked about bringing a wholesale proposition to the market. That's not there yet. So if we wanted to, we can't yet. Would we discuss it with them? Yeah, and we've had some conversation with NextFibre, which is sort of the altnet part of the group. They've got similar. They're owned by similar owners. And Richard's done an interview, so check that out on our YouTube channel. It's really interesting. But as things stand, we have got no plans to add them as sort of one of the networks that we are aggregating. So I'd say we've no plans to do that at the moment. They're not lined up to be in there as we're speaking. That's City Fibre, Truly, Freedom Fibre, and a couple of others. But I would say we're not ruling it out long term. We're never going to say, we're not saying no, but it's not in the plans at the moment.
Okay, thank you very much. There's a question which probably I can take here, which is, what is the best way to send portal feedback? Is it via email or via partner experience managers? Well, there's multiple options, really. Exactly. If you've got a relationship with your partner experience manager, which you definitely should have, then the feedback should flow into them. I'm more than happy to take it, Steve and Andy. There is a feedback option, actually, in the ICP, if it was related in terms of that. And be open with us. I think Andy's mentioned a couple of times now, and so has Steve, that we want to hear from you as partners around what you actually want, and then we can prioritise that work accordingly to deliver on that for you. So that's the best way to do that. While I'm on the topic of feedback, our Net Promoter survey is now out, so we'll leave that open for a couple of weeks and gather that feedback, and then from there we'll do our natural you said we did piece and look at where we can make improvements, working with Dean and the operation functions that we've got here at Zen, or if it could be anything about account management or partner experience or the work we do with our suppliers. We want to hear that from you, so it's really valid. So yeah, that's out and it's out for a couple more weeks. I'm just checking now to see if there's any more. Nope, I think we're done for questions. So in terms of recap, what I would like to do is thank you for joining us this morning. There's a few things that just to wrap up. So can you please think about some of our staff members tomorrow evening? They are sleeping out at Sandbrook Park for charity. We've posted on LinkedIn and our socials around how you can sponsor that. I think it's important to say thank you for the people that have done that so far. But yeah, spare a little thought for the guys doing. I'm not doing it. I'm not. But a number of our partner team are. And please, sponsor if you can. So from me, Steve and Andy, thank you very much for joining us. And we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.